Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to the Twin Cities Terrors annual Turkey Day Scrimmage. My name is Smalls, and I will be yelling at all of you over the internet this evening. Looks like our skaters are getting together for this black and white gala, extravaganza, etc. We've got York kind of marshaling everybody, telling them lay the land. The rules are have fun and keep having fun. If you have any, you want to drop us a line here, let us know what's going on in the chat. That would be really cool. Let me know that somebody is out there watching along, streaming along, all that fun stuff. We're going to be bringing you all kinds of fun, wacky hijinks, like a halftime show that may or may not go well. I bet it's going to be great. Looks like we're numbering off here. Tried and true methodology of assigning skaters, because people tend to stick with their buddies. Much concentration to remember their names. Not names, numbers. Numbers. Twos are going to the right. Looks like twos are going to be in black. A little buffering action going on here. Sorry about this. We're kind of piggybacking off of the neighbor's Wi-Fi thanks to Ride Minnesota, a.k.a. the Fantasy Factory. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Well, that's very, very unfun. Give us a few minutes here, and we're going to figure out how to get this stream back up and running for you. All right, looks like it's going to do its own thing as far as video stuff is concerned. As long as that big line across the top of my screen is green, I'm A-okay with it. All right, the teams have been divided up. Looks like we're making sure nobody's running into our lone track camera. Apologies for the angle there. We don't have a... We've got what we've got, and it's going to be awesome. Roxy, if you're out there and listening, there's been a special request to send you to the white team. Little lull before the action here. If you want to join us for the after party, we will be heading to our generous sponsor, Lake Monsters Tap Room, probably around 9 or 9:30 this evening. Depends on how quickly we can get packed up and out of here. Fun part about these particular scrimmages is that I do not know most of who's skating this evening. So I will be just saying things like white jammer, black jammer, etc. Hopefully people who know who other people are will start barking at me and let me know who's who. Well, hi, it's me. I'm Smalls. This is a gift I'm not sure if you call it a gift, of mezcal from one of our esteemed skating referees. However, he forgot to mention there's a bug in here, and I'm not that brave. There's a whole worm. It's pretty gnarly. Anyways, we're going to skip that. But it looks like we're getting very close to ready here to get it up and running. Just people talking about what they're talking about. Who wants to jam first, which is usually nobody, ever. But, you know, we'll get it all figured out. It's going to be great. Additional buffering problems. Again, sorry about the stream quality here. There's the first whistle. And this whole thing is going to be able to be seen after we've got the whole thing recorded up to YouTube. It'll be pretty good about doing that. Fingers crossed. Okay, we're about to get into the action. I'm going to better situate myself so I can call just what in the world's going on, specifically in those corners that you might have trouble seeing. White needs a jammer, and everybody's a little gun shy. Oh, Derby Monster's not gun shy. He's no stranger to the star hat. Their first 5 seconds. And we're away. We're all set. There appears to be no pivot getting set out for White. There goes Samurai Jack, busting his way to the front. There's a rather generous move by York there to pack up the pivot hat that does not belong to him, but that's fine. It's probably for the best. It's a safety thing, you know. There goes Jack for his first pass, and only pass, and he's going to get 4 big points. I'm going to try to write these things down because there is no scoreboard. I am your scoreboard, and I will keep you up to date. I swear. 4 points. 4 points for Black. We've got Merlin on the White team, and that's Nader's going to Nate for the Black team. Both of these jammers have seen plenty of action on the Twin Cities Terrors travel team roster as jammers. Nate more so. Nate's one of those guys that we just really don't like him to block because none of us can really jam as well as he can. And as a wonderful demonstration, and to prove me right, thank goodness he's out for lead jammer for Black. Ooh! Sneaking around on the outside. And thank goodness you're able to see that because that's just in frame. There goes the pack. There goes Nate trying the same move. Juking somebody straight onto the floor there. And he's calling it and getting 9 more points for the Black team. And 9 plus 4, that's 13 points for Black. People yammering about who's jamming and why they're jamming and who they're doing it with. Stuff. 2 new jammers, neither of which I recognize. Do apologize for that. Fun sometimes means disorganization and not a whole lot of record keeping. Oh, and another very easy pass there for the Black jammer. Approaching the pack. Getting yelled at to call it. Looks like she picked up all her points. That's 4 more for the Black and 1 for White. 4 points into 17. And then White is on the board with a point. For those of you keeping score at home, because you can't keep score by looking at the screen, that means Black's got 17 and White has 1. I believe the Turkey Day scrimmage started off back when people decided that they wanted to burn off their calories early or preemptively. That appears to be Switch Please blasting through the pack for the black team, picking up lead jammer status in a hurry, and Derby Monster fighting his way through for the white team. Switch making quick work of that pack and calling it off after picking up 4 more points for black. It's a good thing I'm able to add by 4 easily because it seems to be the scoring pass number of the day. All right, these 2 jammers I know. One of them's York. He's on the black team. He doesn't jam much, but when he does for home team games, there is a lot of shouting and yelling and carrying on and such. And that appears to be a new Violent Femme on NSRD jamming for the white team. And her name is something that I'm struggling with right now, to my great embarrassment. So, a lot of solid defense being played by both teams so far for this jam. Winding into the blind corner, York taking advantage of some misdirection and picking up lead jam for the black team. York approaching the pack, smashing through, calling it off, picking up 4 more points. 4 more points. 25 for black and 1 for white. Whomever was in charge of who was on which team certainly decided to count off by 2s, because that's what they had to do, because that's the rules, of course. Perhaps more jammers on one team than the other. Stacy Wilderness, a new addition to the MMRD League, jamming for white and going down in the middle, and it looks like we're getting a track cut penalty being called on Super Hut. Super Hut going to the box for the black team, giving Stacy Wilderness a chance to wear that star and get lead jammer. But she appears to have passed it off to number 45 on the white team. And I do believe there are 2 number 45s on the white team at this point, because Scarlet Raven is in the house, and that is not her wearing the star right now. Doesn't matter. This is fun. We're not in it for keeping track of what's happening. That's not our goal here. Our goal is fun. Super Huts out of the box. Approaching the pack at speed. We're going to get the full 2 minutes out of this particular jam, because nobody can get a lead jammer at the moment. White jammer is... That's Stacy Wilderness, sadly, going to the box for a failure to reform penalty. A lot of very nearly being togetherness for both teams. Decent recycling by Samurai Jack. Our jam ref's going to hold up some point hands, or he's just going to keep doing the no pass, no penalty thing. Not sure. Well, you don't get points for that one because I can't write it down. Because you don't hold it up in the sky, I can't see it, and I can't write it down. Five big points for white. That is quite the jump for the white team. That puts them up to 6. 6 points for white, 25 for black. If I'm missing point scores or point holdups, I am quite sorry about that. But you know, we really don't have a choice. And as far as I'm concerned, I can just start making up point totals because, I don't know, why not? Let's make up points. Here comes Noam Stomsky wearing the hat for the star hat for the first time for the black team this evening. He's an MMRD, not quite a salty veteran. I would say a veteran at least. This is his First full season, I believe, with the league. There goes the white jammer for a lead. Much needed lead jam status for white. I think that's Lady Gotcha. That's a rookie on the Violent Femmes for North Star Roller Derby. There goes York being very out of play, and it just doesn't matter. Black 101, that would be switch, please, getting put in the box for a back block penalty. That's me dropping the microphone stand. There goes Lady Gotcha calling off the jam. Black picked up 1 point with that one. Let's see here. That'll put Black at a big 2-6. I'm not sure that White's even holding up any jam points, because I'm pretty sure that Gotcha picked up some points on that one. 5 seconds. We've got Derby Monster jamming for the white team, and switch is still in the box. This is a power jam for white. Derby Monster just kind of scooting some folks out the way and then getting through on that apex for lead jam status for white. And I'm going to try to count points here between everything else that's going on. That'll be 1, 2, 3. Ed's got that last point. Don't be a point, Ed. Oh, you're a point. That's okay. That's fine. So it's 4 points on this pass. He's still not going anyplace, and that'll probably be another track back block for switch. So we're busting out those January rules a little bit early. And I think Derby Monster got, or is he getting points? Yeah, that'll be 5 points. There's another 5 points, so that's 10 so far for Derby Monster. We're eating into this 20-point lead. At the beginning of this jam, Black had 26, White had 6. There goes Nader with some jam heroics, but not before we get 5 more points for Derby Monster. This is a 15-point jam. I think I'm mathing good. Might math good. Switches out of the box. Tearing after that pack. Derby Monster just kind of looking around. Wicked Storm. Or Stom. That's her name. Switch goes by Wicked Stom, and Derby Monster calls it off, recognizing that that was Switch's first scoring pass. That'll be 18 points for Derby Monster. 18 plus 6. Help me out, guys. 18 plus 6. That's 24. 24 points now for White. And Black is looking at 29, so we've eaten that lead down to just 1 Grand Slam, because they're still giving out 5 points per Grand Slam because it ain't January yet. That looks like Scarlet Raven jamming for the white team. And I do not recognize that black jammer, but Scarlet Raven is out and stays on her wheels. Lead jam status for white. Oop, just scooting by on the outside, not quite able to get past Slamurai Jack. Pinning her very deep in that pack, but squirting out to the outside. There she goes. That'll be 5 points for her. Shane McPowan trying to go toe-to-toe, or hip-to-hip rather, with the vet. Gamble pays off, cuts that scoring pass, or that scoring opportunity down to nearly nothing, but not before she picks up 1 more point. So that would be a lead change, ladies and gentlemen. 30 for white, 29 for black. Again, these points may not be accurate, but we have no scoreboard. I am your scoreboard. Ooh, the jams are getting nice and low, so I can't tell who's doing what. That'll be Nader's going to Nate on the track in the start for the black team. Going all the way out and around for that lead jammer status. White team's jammer is getting, or black team's jammer is getting not loving life right now. It's a pretty solid wall that they're up against. York, Enigma, and Noam Stomsky, from what I can see here, and then another blocker whose name I do not know. It looks like they're from one of the outside leagues. So, sorry, I don't know who you are. It's my shortcomings as an announcer. I don't know who everybody is. Nader's going to doing a cute little apex hop, but a no pass, no penalty, which means only 4 points. Darn. Oh, well. I guess I'll live with that. That's 4 points. Jukin, driving, getting all the way around, swinging his hips, and that'll be another 4-point pass for Nader's going to Nate. That'll be an 8-point jam for him. Oh, geez. 8 plus 20, 37 points. Black back on top, 37, and White's got 30. Stacy Wilderness back under the star hat for White, and a new black jammer who was nice enough to put their name on the back of their jersey so that I could possibly figure out who they are. And number 8 for black picked up lead jammer status before getting knocked to the outside by Scarlet Raven, and very narrowly avoiding a track cut. And that is Marmar Superstar, I believe. Pop Roxy has arrived in the arena wearing a shirt that is very familiar to me because it is my shirt. She will be 67 for the evening. Hi, Pop Roxy. I'm waving. Roxy and Stom hugging it out. They're buddies. Brand new teammates. Back to the action on the track. I'm sure I missed a scoring pass. So once again, all of these scores will have a gigantic asterisk next to them. There's Marmar Superstar getting a little well stuffed there by the veteran presence of Scarlet Raven. Typically a jammer, but, you know, we're all doing whatever we want this evening. Could be anything. Stacy Wilderness shoving and pushing that black wall. That is a solid derby shape to get through, and Stacy has not been on the roller derby scene for even a year. Still holding her own against a decent wall here, led up by Switch Please. Quite a strong derbyist. There's not a successful star pass, but it's certainly an obvious one, because that is a lot of work to get through all of those blockers. No points for anyone, and that was 2 minutes. I mean, it's fun to yell about those kinds of jams. It's certainly not fun to skate in them. Greetings, everybody who is watching here on a delightful Wednesday evening in historic Northeast Minneapolis. We've got Shane McPowan jamming for the black team against Merlin for the white. Here goes Shane trying to scoot to the outside, getting denied. Merlin's going to try the same thing, but he's going to get yorked. Yorked, if you're not familiar, is getting hit by York so hard that your neck moves. Oh, and there goes. Oh, my. Jack thought he had him. Merlin said otherwise, and Merlin sneaks by, getting lead jam status for white. Hopefully trying to get back into the lead here with Shane McPowan stuck behind Lady Gotcha. A successful star pass appears to have occurred, and sure enough, there goes the Slammerai Jack, yanking that hat on. Merlin picking up some points, calling it off just in time, picking up 5. That's a grand slam for the Murmur. That means it's white 35, black 37. YouTube is not receiving at the moment. Hopefully they will soon. But, you know, this is all kind of seat of the pants on stolen Wi-Fi. Well, not stolen Wi-Fi. I asked very nicely for the password, and they gave it to me. So here we have Switch Please for the black team. Scooting by super quick. An inside followed, you know, moderately quickly by Derby Monster. There's about a quarter of the track separating both of these skaters. Switch approaches the pack on 1 foot, scooting around and picking up points. That's 3 for black, none for white. That'll put black at a nice round 40, white at 35. This evening's black and white scrimmage brought to you by the travel season. Everyone's trying to get everywhere. New jammer for white, a skater that, again, I don't recognize, because this ain't my day job. Ooh, that is a penalty whistle. Oh, that'll be a jammer penalty on white 4-5 heading to the box. That'll be a power jam for black. Not that they need it, they're up by 5. White keeping that pack up to maximize the ability to push, and there we go. We've got a lead jammer status for black after 3/4 of a lap. It's a hard-fought lead jammer status. Ooh, some more pushing and shoving, and calling it off, but not before white gets out of the box. That'll be 4 big points for black. There is an penalty being assessed to poor old Miles O'Brien, a.k.a. Enigma, one of the board members for MMRD, the league. The Samurai Jack is going up against... someone will tell me who that skater's name is. But number 45 for the white. It'll be 45-1 because they were here first. Show up on time, Scar. It'll be 45-1 next time. York bouncing that white jammer out on the outside of the pack. And out of bounds, running him all the way back, giving Samurai Jack enough time? Nearly enough time. Not enough time. White recycles very well. Not before no pack penalty is called. And Samurai Jack scooting out on around the outside, picking up lead jammer status for black. Many cheers. Many cheers for the Samurai Jack. Ooh, very in Samurai Jack form, which is staying upright against all odds. Makes it out of the pack. Merlin is not going to be so lucky. Poor guy's going to get a star pass and get stuck behind Noam Stomsky. I believe, based on the cheers, that's the 3rd scoring pass, so I'm just going to do 3 times 4 is 12. So he's got 12 points right now. Again, this is all made up. Doesn't matter. Merlin will be rewarded for his efforts by getting the jam called off on him. So that'll be 12 points for black. 56 points for black and 35 for white. I heard a rolling whistle, which probably means it's halftime, which means I need to go microwave some beans. You might not know what that means, but very shortly you will, because we have a pretty ridiculous little halftime gig going on. So I'll be right back. I'm going full Nickelodeon on this one. Yeah.
How's everything working? Is it all going okay? Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for doing this, brother.
You have to drive home.
Two volunteers. Who wants to win a T-shirt? You're volunteering for a fun little game we're playing. It's gonna be great.
Who wants to win a T-shirt? Black team.
Do you know if anybody checked to see how late Lake Monster is actually open till tonight?
No, doesn't matter. That's not my concern right now. Hi.
Hi.
Are you contestant number 1?
Sure.
Great.
Sybil.
Adam, nice to meet you. All right. So what we're gonna do? Do we have another contestant? We need one more. Just one. You're not going to have to eat anything weird or do anything too weird. Maybe a little bit weird, but not too weird. Okay.
I don't like it when food touches on the plate.
Oh no, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of get right into this. So, as you can see here, we've got your typical Thanksgiving meal. We got your mashed potatoes, your cranberry sauce, and your beans and the little crispies and stuff like that. But what we're missing is a turkey. So we have our turkeys over here, and the name of the game is, you can use the glove or not, it's totally up to you. But the first person that's able to take the gizzards out of these turkeys, stuff them. I have tape over here so you can seal them back up. And then stand right here. And for no other reason besides we have a basketball hoop, shoot the turkeys with the basketball hoop. And have it join the rest of the Thanksgiving dinner. We'll win that T-shirt.
So take whatever's in that cow.
Take what is that? Yep.
Tape it on and go shoot the moose.
Yep. Tape it on shut and then just kind of go for it. So if you would assume your positions, please.
Okay.
All right. Ready to go? 3, 2, 1, go! They're removing the stuffing from the turkeys. Those were $3.50. There we go. That is real stovetop. That is actual stovetop stuffing. It's a very close battle. We've got some tape going on. We're gonna seal up that turkey. Sybil out to a commanding lead over Shane McPowan, and we got one shot. Oh no, not quite. I'll have to clean that up later because I said I would. Oh no, that's 2 shots that haven't quite made it through. Keep shooting, gotta keep shooting. Somebody's gotta win that T-shirt. It's gotta go through the hoop. Oh no, it's anyone's game. Oh, all the stuffing came out. You're gonna have to restuff that turkey. You're gonna have to restuff the turkey. Maybe just a little more tape, maybe. All right, Shane, this is your moment. Oh no, Shane's been granted a golden opportunity. He's oh, so close. It didn't go through the hoop, so it doesn't count. We're so close. So close. I'm glad we've gotten to the fun portion. Oh, he's so happy about all this. Oh! And he got it, Shane McPowan, the winner, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for participating in our halftime show. Winner Shane McPowan, let's get a winner's interview over here. Real quick. So Shane, come talk to me about your victory. What was going? Oh wait, we need to kind of. There we go. What was going through your head besides screw you, Smalls?
Yeah, mostly that. It was a lot harder than it looked because there's no mass to the turkey.
Yeah, I was hoping that everybody would start just like jamming the stuffing in there, but there's only so much you can do, I suppose.
And the wrist guard was a real hindrance. I mean, not that I can shoot anyway, but it was even worse with that.
Yeah, you know, it's a real story of trials, tribulations, and perseverance and a can-do attitude. So congratulations on your hard-fought victory.
Thanks, Smalls.
Yeah, I'll see you back on the track. I got some sweeping to do. We'll be right back. I heard somebody yell 5 seconds, which means I'm going to get back on the microphone. There goes Scarlet Raven hitting the outside for 5 big points for White. I do believe that'll bring him up to 40. Yes, counting. Counting math and careful record keeping is what is fun over here at the bench. I hope everybody enjoyed the halftime show. It went off about as well as I could have possibly hoped. I wish we had some kind of wireless camera so that I could get a better close-up of the action, but we had thrills, spills, turkey explosions. Couldn't have gone better. That's 2 5-point passes for Scarlet Raven. 10 more much-needed points, and there goes 15 points for Scarlet Raven on this jam. I'm smelling that. That was real food I had there on the plate. That wasn't. Those weren't props. That was actual mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce. So I'm smelling that right now, and it's smelling pretty good. That's 5 more points. That'll be a 20-point jam for Scarlet Raven. Our halftime turkey stuffing 3-point shot winner, Shane McPowan, hot on her heels. There's the end of the jam. That's 4 more points, so that'll be a 24-point jam for Scarlet Raven. 24 plus 35 is a lead change. That's 56 for Black and 59 for White. I'm going to find my spoon and have some potatoes. Nope, never mind. 5 seconds has been called. We've got York once again on the Black team, and new jammer for White is Pop Roxy. York twinkle-toesing around on the outside, making his way through for lead jammer for Black. Roxy getting stuck behind the Black wall. Cute little apex hop for York. Means that he is out. Pop Roxy taking the star off. Appears to have successfully passed it off and very nearly making York pay for it. Oh, that'll be a track cut on the White jammer. And we've got Roxy playing defense against York, trying to get her team back up with her, and they are all together now in a much better position. Here comes some offense from the Slam Ride Jack. And there goes the over Stacy Wilderness. And there goes York for his third pass? Third pass. That'll be all 5 points for all 3 passes. So that's 15 more points for Black. That very short-lived White lead. So 15 to 60 to 15. 71 points for Black, 59 for White. Those good taters. Switch, please, jamming for Black on a power jam. Ooh, meeting the Merlin. Getting stood up real quick. Doesn't matter. Got lead anyway. White team calling for a wall. Not going to really get one. Switch barreling through and picking up 4 points for her team. Oh, there goes Switch getting Merlin. Merlin going on the floor. Switch recycling all the way to the back and approaching that wall at decent amount of speed. Juking and jiving. Not quite successful. Ooh, taking a shoulder to the chest and keeps on ticking. 5 more points. Looking for some encouragement from her bench, perhaps. Not getting any. Nate and Noam Stomsky doing a good job keeping the White jammer, whose name I don't know, stuck behind the pack. Oh, no, getting some decent offense. Decent recycling, though, from Noam. Means that Switch will only pick up 4 points for that jam. Or pass. Or is that a 3? I can't see from here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to say that was 7 points for Black. 7 for Black means 78 for Black and 59 for White. And green beans for me. Two more jammers whose names I do. Oh, there's Vendetta for the Black team. That's 178. Thank you for putting your name on the back of your shirt. And I think that's Hertz Donut for the White team. A solid defensive display for both teams. Stacy Wilderness going up to play some offense. And Vendetta getting knocked to the outside by Derby Monster and recycled all the way to the back before rejoining his teammates. Pop Roxy shouting out the commands, being the floor general. Scar getting a low block for her troubles, and Pop Roxy giving Vendetta the business. The business is Roxy's right shoulder, if you have not heard me say that before on stream. It's like to the front. Yep, Hertz Donut is struggling to get lead. We have no lead so far for this jam. Derby Monster hearing Pop Roxy and shoving Vendetta to the outside. Still no lead, and I don't even think we've gone through a lap around the track quite yet. That's how good this defense has been. Shane McPowan trying to stay up. Does not. Recycling to the outside. Scar and Roxy keeping Vendetta behind him. And inbound, and getting knocked to the inbounds line. Roxy recycling her all the way to the back, and that is the natural conclusion to that jam. Nobody gets any points. We all have a lot of fun, except for those two jammers. That looked like hell. What does this cranberry sauce taste like? You know, not bad. Way to go, Market Pantry. You did it. Speaking of doing it, we've got... There's Sybil for the White team. That's WD-40. The runner-up in the halftime competition. And we've got Nader's Gonna Nate for the Black team. Getting stuck behind a white wall of Merlin, and Wicked Stomp nearly knocking Nader to the outside, and Merlin barely hanging on there, and Nate hanging on just a little bit longer, picking up lead jammer status for Black. Here comes the scoring pass from Nader's Gonna Nate. How many will he get? He will get all of them. That is 5. Big old grand slam for Black. Approaching the pack once again. That is 1 point. That is 2. That is falling over and out of bounds for Nate. But nope, he's going to scoot his way through the middle there for another grand slam. That is 10 points this jam for Black, and I'm reciting that out loud so that I do not forget when I go to write these scores down, because we are all about accuracy here. That'll be 15 for Nate on an effortless third pass. It's a jammer you really like it when you can get through on those freebies, especially on the third pass. Nader juking to the outside, seeing that that'll be a 4-point pass. That's a no pass, no penalty on one of those points. So that'll be a, I said that I was saying these things out loud so that I remember them, and I didn't remember them. So, we'll just call it 24 points for Black. 20 for the 90s. That'll be the century mark. It'll be 104 for the Black team. 59 still for White. That lead is opening up a little bit, and I'm going to open up this pile of green beans and onion stuff. Stacy Wilderness picking up lead jam for White. Noam Stomsky staying in long enough to get that star pass handed off to Enigma. Here comes Stacy Wilderness on a scoring pass. Stacy Wilderness wisely calling it off. Perhaps not in time, because that's 2 points for Stacy and 3 for Enigma. Do math. That'll be 61 for White and 107 for Black. Five seconds and a mouthful of potatoes. Now we're looking at Merlin is jamming for the White team. Jamming into Samurai Jack number 45 on the White team going to the box. That'll be a pack advantage for the Black jammer, whose name I don't remember. Or no, for that matter. I can't remember it if I didn't know it. Merlin says, shut up, Smalls. I got lead. You don't have to worry about the other jammer anymore, except I do because they just got out of the pack, which is going to cut this scoring run short for the White team, though they desperately need it. This high-stakes game of a fun scrimmage. And picking up 4 more points for White. Black Jammers fighting, making it through. That'll be 4 for each. Merlin picking up an additional 4, so that'll be 8 for White and 4 for Black, and that is where that jam will stay. So that'll be 69 for the White team and 111 for Black. More beans? Yes, more beans. Noam Stomsky wearing the probably not his favorite hat in the world. He looks more like a stocking cap kind of guy. He and Anarchy moved up here from New Orleans, and it's a lot colder up here than it is there. That's for sure. Noam being given the business by Pop Roxy, buying Pop Roxy's jammer enough time to pick up lead. Nate picked up that star, and away he goes, hoping to hold Derby Monster to just 1 scoring pass, and hold him he does. That'll be 4 more points for White and nothing for Black. 73 White, 111 Black. Chipping away at this cranberry sauce. Also that lead. Jammer's so low you can't see him. Although I think that's Ed. Yep, that's Enigma for the Black team. Very nearly staying in bounds, and Merlin's got something to say about it, but it's not loud enough. Enigma shouting him down and picking up that lead status for Black. I smell a high block, but who's it going to be on? That's going to be on switch number 101. As a tall person out there on roller skates, it's pretty easy to pick up high blocks. I mean, your elbows are right at somebody's face. It's not our fault. We're just tall. I blame all of you. You're all short. There goes Enigma picking up 4 points, calling it off, and White picking up 1. 74 for White. Oh, that'll be 115 for Black. And more potatoes for me. That'll be Freya jamming for the Black team. Ooh, we got a pivot start, ladies and gentlemen. Call your grandparents. They'll remember this. Those pivot starts. Ooh, that'll be Freya getting a shoulder full of Derby Monster. Stacy Wilderness shoving her way to the front and then getting shoved out of bounds and getting run all the way back. Hopefully Freya is going to be able to take advantage of all of this, but Derby Monster sees what she's up to, shoves her to the inside. Freya not loving life right now. Stacy Wilderness having perhaps a little bit more luck. Pushing up the middle. Usually a good way to do it until you get shoved all the way to the outside. And there goes Switch Please, dancing her all the way to the back. And this is the first apex, and we do not have lead. And Stacy takes that hat off. She's had enough. Pop Roxy being like, oh no, I've got the pivot. I have to do this now. For at least 2 minutes. That's at most 2 minutes. We got a whistle. I'm not sure what it's on. It looked like we had Pack up front. There's Freya picking up lead jammer status for the black team, and Pop Roxy getting out of the pack as well. There is a considerable amount of confusion going on here on the white side of the field. That'll be 1 point for black team, nothing for white. Very eventful jam, that one right there. Twists and turns, and will they, won't they, and who's got points? I got points. All right, we got Wicked Stomp coming up as jammer for the white team. York is on black. We got a bear jam. If you've been joining us for the MMRD home season, you'll know that bear jams are kind of a big deal for the audience. And since we have no audience here this evening, it's not really a big deal at all. It's a big enough deal, though, for Bear. He'll pick up lead jammer status. Bear, York, doesn't matter. Track cut penalty being called on Wicked Stomp. Just in time for York to get to the scoring pass portion of his evening. Trying to get around Merlin, but Merlin, he's seen that. He's seen this movie before. He'll be abridged since he can't be in front of York anymore, and that'll be 5 points for York. Stom is standing in the box, and there she shall stay. Oh, never mind. So black won't start with a power jam. I didn't see, I forgot to count. I'm so sorry, but that'll be, I'm going to say 9 points for black. That'll be 124 for black and 74 for white. Where did my potatoes go? We got Marmar Superstar going up against Derby Monster, who dances over his own fallen teammate just in time to get lead jammer status. And Marmar getting stuck behind a wall of white. Pop Roxy playing some very solid offense in the front, making that pass a lot easier than it probably should have been for Derby Monster. 5 points for Derby Monster. He's going to get about there, and he'll call it off. That'll be 5 plus nothing. So 79 for white, 124 for black. And I'd love to tell you how much time is left, but I have no idea. I was busy sweeping up turkey leavings. By turkey leavings, I of course mean authentic stovetop. And before I forget, I promised everybody some amusing anecdotes from people around the league and their pals. We got Merlin jamming up against, again, I just do not know all of these players, and I feel pretty bad about that. What I don't feel bad about is reading funny stories to everybody once I get them pulled up on my phone. In the meantime, we've got Merlin getting all the way through. That'll be 4 points for him unless it's not. Nope, that'll be a track cut. That'll be a track cut and no points. Track cut, no points. Not what white needs right now. They're trailing by math, 129 to 74. Oh man, taking no prisoners and pounding through that white line is the black jammer. Here comes another one. That's a juke and a shove. Falling to the outside. And Roxy yelling at her team to go back. Scarlet Raven will oblige her. And Merlin's out of the box. Maybe he'll play some defense. Maybe he'll just not care. Oh, very nearly sticking to the outside line is Merlin. But Jack says, nah, you're going to go out of bounds. I'm going to recycle it all the way back. Merlin nearly making it out. Noam Stomsky hitting the deck. Merlin's scooting away, picking up 4 points for White. I think I'm keeping track of these things. Yeah, close enough. Cute little duck move, and away goes Merlin. Nice moves. Great body control being exhibited there, and that'll be 10 points for White on this jam so far. Oh my, and picking up that last final 5 at the very last possible second. That is 10 points. That'll be 89 for White and 128 for Black. And that appears to be our final. While people get shouted at, I'm going to shout at you some anecdotes. So my friend Mike submitted this. He's not a Derby player. We tried, ladies and gentlemen, we tried to get Mike in on the whole Derby action, but he was having none of it, so here we are. From Mike. My old teacher, who had his South African citizenship revoked for terrorism, a.k.a. protesting anything, filled the family turkey with weed stuffing and got his entire extended family baked as heck. His grandma was there, and she had a great time. Another one from Mike is, my great-grandma was legally blind but was still required to make the mashed potatoes. So on one Thanksgiving day when Mike was a kid, she thought that the orange juice was milk based on the shape of the box. She used orange juice in the recipe for the mashed potatoes, and they were delicious anyway, because that's why great-grandma was in charge of the potatoes, because no matter what, they're always going to be good. Thimbleberry Slam. She's one of our skating officials this evening. Says, even at nearly 33 years old, I still like to stick my fingers in the holes of the jumbo black olives on the dinner platter and make cool alien hands. Cute. There was another one from halftime winner Shane McPowan. I'm just going to have to call that up because I had thought I wrote it down and I didn't. It's just the kind of day we're having here at Derby World. Shane says, I got a Thanksgiving story for me and all of you, of course. One year when he was a kid, I'm just going to do the 1 year when I was a kid, as if I were him talking to you now. 1 year when I was a kid, we had another family over for Thanksgiving. My mom made these pumpkin rolls that were like crack, insanely good, but they told me I had to finish everything else before I could have more pumpkin rolls. Pretty reasonable request. Meanwhile, the other family's dad, let's call him Ben Kimball. I don't know if that's a real name. I hope it is. Ben. He ate every pumpkin roll, like 8 rolls or something, and then Shane got none. He didn't get any of them. I think I had a rage blackout because I don't remember the rest, but every Thanksgiving since then, my family gives me crap about Ben Kimball eating all the pumpkin rolls. That bastard. So, Ben, I hope you are, wherever you are, that you're extremely satisfied with your choices in life because you've just ruined somebody's Thanksgiving for, like, ever. Shane's, like, 9 zillion years old. Love you, buddy. And that's a lot of Thanksgivings to ruin for just one person, so that's how that goes. Anyway, those are the anecdotes that I received from everybody that I requested them from. I really thought we were going to have more, but here we are. And I'm going to try to get you an update on what's going on the track because it appears as though, you know, something's going on. I'm just not sure what it is. So stay tuned, those of you out there in Derby land, and we'll be right back. Well, sports fans, if you didn't already guess, we're doing more roller derby, and we're not only doing one more half, we're doing two more halves, which will bring us up to a round 4-quarter evening of roller derby. Since I missed that first jam, we're just going to start the scoring right here.
Merlin, you score anything? Did he score anything?
Yeah, okay, he had 3. We'll give 3 to White. That'll bring him up to, oh geez, that'll be 92. 92 for White, 128 for Black. And on we go. That'll be a lead jammer status for the White team. And Shane McPowan getting Derby monstered very nearly. Yep, there he goes. He got Derby monstered. I should probably tell him about that at some point today. Don't do XYZ around Derby Monster because he'll do it for you. All right, that's a 5-point scoring pass for Scarlet Raven. That'll be somebody going to the box for something. Derby Monster going to the box. And Shane McPowan's loving life. That's 5 more for the White team. Scarlet Raven coming around. That's got some fast pack action here. Scar getting at least 1, 2, 3, and that'll be 4. That's 14. 14 points for the White team. I'm bringing up my calculator. I'm not Lex Luthor. I don't know anything about math. 92 plus 4. We're looking at 106 for the White team, 128 for Black. We're going to see whether Black can hold on to this lead that has been scraped down to just 22 points. Switch Please is going to get bounced to the inside. By your favorite and mine, Pop Roxy. And once you know it, Pop Roxy gets a cut penalty called on Switch, buying Merlin enough time to perhaps get some lead jammer going on. And that'll be getting by. Oh, Nader, and staying in bounds just barely. Sounds like Nate got his hand down just in time. Roxy calling it out. Calling out the play. Letting her team know what's up. Merlin approaching the back of the pack. There's Switch. Switch getting run into there slowed down by Stacy Wilderness. Roxy getting offended by Nate. Who doesn't get offended by Nate? That looked like a very unpleasant, not serious fall, but definitely one of those things where, you know, you sit too hard on your wheels and you're going to feel it. That'll be a different color tomorrow morning, if it isn't already. Once again, I missed any scoring that happened, so we're just going to call it a wash. Beat Babaloo Bop. We got Freya for the Black team. Mystery Jammer for White. Skaters hitting the deck. Freya getting trapped behind a wall of White with some solid recycling going on. I'm looking at some kind of go to the box penalty being called on White's 1 ounce, something like that. Who knows? Someone knows, it's just not me. Freya sneaking by on the inside. Stealth Jammer picking up lead for Black. Star Pass is mildly successful. Yes. Well, the Star Pass happened, but Scarlet Raven got knocked to the inside by Samurai Jack, who isn't going to be fooled by the same thing twice. Scooting by Samurai Jack and Enigma on the outside. Jack asking Freya to please call it, because Scar was coming up on the outside there. Some friendly contest high fives being exchanged between Scar and Jack. Switch please wearing the star again, next to Stacy Wilderness. These beans got cold. If only there were a micro. Oh, there is a microwave. Nope, not important enough. I must call action. Switch please fighting against that wall of white. Getting by just in time. White trying to provide some offense. Stacy Wilderness pushing her way through the inside. Pop Roxy calling out the orders on the floor. Getting people to the front, and to the front they get. Switch taking advantage of perhaps some confusion there on the white side of things. However, ooh, a nasty spill taken by Hertz Donut. Unfazed. Unlike Noam Stomsky, who's going to the box for some reason, I'm sure. I'm sure he deserved it. Pop Roxy's last-ditch effort getting thwarted by Switch. However, Roxy, it was all a clever ruse as Roxy picks up that star. And Switch picks up more points. 4 more. That'll be 19 points for black. 3 for white, I suppose. That'll be 24 for black. That'll be 7 for white. 7 white, 24 black. We can all remember this, right? Everybody? Good. Good, good. Switch running into Stacy Wilderness. And that'll be 24 plus 3 is 27. 27 black, 9 for white. They'll bring black's total up to 155 to 115 for white. So it's still a pretty close battle going on out there with at least one more quarter plus, I'm going to say 4 more minutes of the jam. Here comes Derby Monster for white, who does not beat Nader's Gonna Nate out of the pack. But he's not too far away, but that's, Nader putting on the speed. Nader known for speeding through things and getting through just in time, and he's going to pick up a track cut penalty in spite of the jam also being called off. So that'll be no points for nobody. Although I'm going to get some points by seeing how cold these potatoes got. Not as cold as the beans, I guess. Nope, they're all about the same temperature now. Power jam start for white. Roxy providing some very effective offense and calling out to her team that they got one. And the white jammers got one. It's 1 lead jammer status for this jam. The only one that could possibly have existed in the history of time. Beautiful offense being played on that apex. Slammerite Jack being able to not recycle her, but bounce her out of bounds to the outside. Here comes Nate out of the box. Juking and jiving into the hips of Scarlet Raven. Nader's going to be real quick getting through there for not lead jammer. No one's lead no more, though. Welcome to 2 minutes, everybody. Nate will just kind of scoot by on the inside. He'll take your points. Thank you very much. That's another 5 for Nate. The first 5 for Nate, I should say. Again, I'm not paying a lot of attention. I'm paying just enough attention. So Nate has scored 5 points so far. Bebop, Blue Bop, that's the white jammer getting out of the box. That's Nate taking advantage of his wiggliness. We'll call it Nate's wiggliness. For 5 more points. That's 10 points for Nate on this jam. I mean, black don't need no points, but they're going to get a lot of them anyway. Because Nate, of course. How low can you go? It's going to be low enough for 4 more points. That'll be 14 for Nate. Oh, dear. Nate trying to bend the laws of physics by slingshotting himself around something that's not exactly there. He'll pick up 4 more points. That'll be, oh, math, come on. That'll be 18 for Nate, I guess. And then 9 for White. $71 Black, 171 for Black, excuse me, and 124 for White. Buddy Jesus imparting some words of wisdom to Scarlet Raven. Who could ever possibly know what they are? Many things just happened at once, so I'm just going to pick up where I left off, which is paying attention just now. To Switch wiggling her way through the pack for lead jammer status. That is out of play as heck, and I am going to... That'll be a failure to return penalty. And then the white jammer getting bounced to the out of bounds there by Enigma, while Switch picks up 5 more. Nick barely making it through the outside there was the white jammer. There goes Switch for 5 more. That's 10. 10 for a Switch, and we've got the white jammer stuck in the pack. No one likes the stuck in the pack status. That's just not fun. 178 Vendetta is back out of the box for the black team. Hustling her way up to provide some reinforcements for black. The jam is called. 5 more points for Switch. Nothing for Wicked Stom, who appears to have picked up that jammer hat. Oh boy, what did I say? 19 for Switch. That'll be 190. 190 for black. And 124 for white. We got 1 OZ doing the jammer thing for whites. That's Shane McPowan, winner of a free t-shirt by black, doing a cute little pirouette around the outside there and picking up lead jammer status for black. York doing his York thing to that white jammer whose name, once again, I've never learned, because I'm bad at my job. Well, we got a Merlin on York fight going on the front there, buying some primo textbook offense being applied there by Merlin. Shane McPown getting smacked to the inside, getting a face full of some inside pack ref. 3 points for black. 193 for black, 124 for white. This is for all the marbles. White looking for another skater to join them on the track wearing wheels. Roxy yelling for white to the front. Sure enough, there they all get. Freya jamming for the black team is going to scoot to the outside. Derby Monster getting not quite gummed up. Freya sticking with lead jammer status. That's a point. There's some more points. And there she calls it off, and then Derby Monster says he got points. Sure enough, he did, so that's 3 for both teams. 196 for black. 127 for white. More green beans for me. Should have brought a fork. Oh, we got a switch on the line there for the black team and a Merlin for the white team. Switch doing the old, I'm on offense. No, I'm on defense. Oh, man, Merlin is giving it his all. He was sprinting as fast as he possibly could out of that pack. Those are fun jams. I like those ones. Black is calling a timeout. And I am getting ever closer to drinking this worm. I'm really not going to do it, though. That's just trying to get on camera so you can all see it. But this is only a $30 webcam that I bought 2 days ago. I guess it's not a timeout. I lied. Scrambling for the controls. Here we go. Now we got a timeout for black. It was a timeout after all. And nobody knew it. Well, I knew it. I said so. A very hearty hello to all of our stream monsters out there. No messages yet, however, you know. What are you going to do? It's live YouTube. Thanks for joining us here on a Wednesday evening. We're looking at about 8:30 here, Central Standard Time, here in Minneapolis. Loving life. We've got Derby Monster talking at his team. Hi, Roxy.
Hi.
You want some dinner?
No,
No? It's not bad.
I just have a mouth guarded.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. It'll be cold, but it's actually not bad when it's cold. I don't know why. Roxy, bless her heart, listens to me say all kinds of crazy things day in and day out. So hug your Roxy, everyone. Hug her good. White and black jammers having a, I don't know if that's a do-si-do or a waltz or a, hey, I'm going to feel you behind my back with my feelers. Oh, Scarlet Raven. All that dancing around and then goes right into a tripod of black skaters in an impressive and perhaps deadly triangle. That'll be Shane McPowan going very nearly the very wrong, long way to the box. He got shoved into somebody's skates, somebody fell over, and now he goes to the box. You know, timeless tale. And there goes Scarlet Raven for lead jammer. And cheered on by her teammates. Oh, nope, Scar, oh, you almost did it. No. Asking Jack if he went out of bounds, and of course he didn't. Even if he did, he's not going to say anything. He wouldn't say anything about that. That's crazy. Why would you give away your secrets like that? Oops, Shane getting almost a face full of concrete, but staying upright, thank goodness. Getting a little bit of communication starting back up there for the black team. And just in time from Samurai Jack, who appears to be working very hard. Oh, Shane nearly staying in bounds there, but not quite, and that's 4 points for the white team. Looks like Scar had enough. You know what? I probably missed a grand slam, so we're going to call it 9. It's the season of giving, after all. So that'll be 136 for white and 196 for black. Oh, we got a Merlin gnome hug. The legendary wizard and the revered linguist. They're puns on names. I don't make this stuff up. I'm just saying stuff. Merlin fighting his way through a triangle of black. Nate being the last defense, but Nate's now at the very back of the pack. And they have to rely on York to shove Merlin into the inbounds, which he's done a few times, and he'll do it again there. Oh, juking and reading him like a book. There goes Merlin. Lead jammer status for white. Noam Stomsky receiving some last-minute offense by Nate, who did my favorite kind of offense, which is just standing there and waiting for people to run into you. Here comes a penalty on Roxy for a direction of play penalty. That'll be 3 more points for White, 1 more quarter in the books, and 2 more for Black. 3, 4, 1, that's 139. 139 for White and 198 for Black. And 1 more bite of Thanksgiving for me. Seems to be a slight amount of confusion between who's doing what and where and why and how. Oh, yeah, we got 1 more. The cool part about scrimmages is it doesn't matter how many referees you have, as long as you've got 1. Switch giving out some high fives. Oh, there's Noam waving at his kids. And everybody else that's on stream. Switch is punching out for the evening. Probably has things to do that don't involve being inside of a warehouse. I'm waving at people. Hi. Hi. Hi, Derby. Derby, I said hi. I said hi. Hi. Looks like a little rest and recuperation between quarters. Score sits at 198 for Black and 139 for White. Well, let's see here. Cranberry sauce? Yeah, why not? Canned stuff's not bad. I'm sure it gets better with age? No. That doesn't sound right. Had the most absurd target run of my whole life this morning, where I found our little turkeys. Let's see if I can find them. Give you a close-up. They're pretty cute. I'm going to save them, maybe take them home and stitch some catnip into them so our cats can play around with them, tear them to pieces. You know how cats do. All right, so here we go. These are the turkeys that they had on clearance at Target. $3.50 if you can believe it. What a deal. And the object was you had to yank. Oh, there's still some stuffing in there. Go figure. Oh, yep, shake that all out. Don't need that anymore. But yeah, so you just kind of yank the cotton balls, whatever, out of the bottom there, and then stuff them on up and chuck them at a basketball hoop because we have a basketball hoop. Why not? And yeah, that was kind of the whole contest. It was going to be a little bit different, but they only had 2 of them at Target, so I improvised. A lot of scooting around, skating around, talking around, having a good time. Again, thank you all so much for joining us here Wednesday night before the big travel holiday, before we all get completely overloaded with hopefully delicious food. There was one Thanksgiving where the turkey was dry, and I was like, good, I'll just soak it in gravy and everything will be fine. But the gravy tasted like nothing at all. If you could give texture to air, that's kind of how it tasted. It was very, very weird. Oh, plain Jello. Plain Jello. That would be how I would describe that gravy. It was gross. I'm going to take a little break, and I will be right back. Hi, everyone. I'm back. We're back. You're back. Oh, dear. I just turned off my monitor. Shane McPowan. Oh, my goodness. Nearly snapping his own foot off. That was a close call. I'm going to let him know how close of a call that was later, but... Did he stay in bounds? No, he didn't, and he's going to be knocked to the inside and around by Derby Monster. Go around him! Very unhelpful advice from the Peanut Gallery, a.k.a. me. Excuse me, that was very rude, burping into the microphone like that. None of you have a choice but to listen to me. Ooh, just sneaking by on the inside line there. Number 45. Oh, you stayed in, Shane. You can keep going. He knows it. We know it. I know it. Unfortunately for him, the pack also knows it. White Jammer going to call it off before Shane gets to the back of the pack for 2 points for White. They're sitting at 141 to Black's 198. Really unfortunate that I'm not able to provide you with a shot of the jam line. We've got Merlin jamming for White. Noam Stomsky for Black. Noam going to assert himself all the way up to the front, but unfortunately, half of the Black blockers hit the floor. Noam hits the gas, and out he goes for lead jammer status. Merlin hot on his heels. Noam knows it. Jack beckoning his team to the front. Noam trying to get points, so he's going to call it off before he gets to the back. No, 2 points for Noam Stomsky. That brings him up to the big 200, ladies and gentlemen. 200 points for Black, 141 for White. That's a really easy to math out, 59-point difference. Of course, as I say that, I forget my maths. Wicked Stom going up against Marmar Superstar. Marmar Superstar in Black, getting shoved to the outside by Pop Roxy and Derby Monster. Marmar staying upright, and Wicked Stom making it out just in time to get lead jammer status, but not before getting hip checked all the way to the outside. Stom is slow to get up, smiles on her face. And there's at least 2 safeties out there. Hey, and everything's fine. We're all fine here now. Any spill that you roll away from is a good one. Five seconds is being called. We have the Samurai Jack against Sybil for White. Sybil for White. Jack is Black. Sybil taking advantage of some confusion and offense and very nearly making her way all the way to the front of the pack, but not before Samurai Jack does. Samurai Jack picking up lead jammer status for Black. Sybil being reminded that they can take the star off their head now that they're not lead. That's 5 big points for Samurai Jack, wearing his kerchief in solidarity with his dog, who I'm sure is also wearing the same kerchief. Merlin appears to have taken a star pass, because otherwise why would he be so far out? Sure enough, there he is putting that hat on. A little friendly jabber John. We've got a little jammer on jammer action, and Oh, and everybody quits. That'll be, I think it's 9 points for Jack. I'm going to call it 9 for Jack. That'll be 209 for Black, 141 for White. Next up for jammings, your next jammer offering, we have Derby Monster in White, Enigma on Black team. Derby Monster pushing his way through on the inside, picking up lead jammer, but Enigma trying to close the distance. There goes Derby Monster picking up 3 for White, none for Black. 3 White, none Black means we've got 144 for White, 209 for Black. All this roller derby is brought to you by Lake Monster Brewing. We were trying to get over there for the after party, but they're going to be long closed by the time we're all able to be seen by other non-derby folk. Merlin is shoving people into the ground, and other people are being shoved around by Merlin. And Nader's Gonna Nate is applying his leverage. And I don't know what happened there. Looked like he was out to me, but nope, we got York out. York's going to be the lead jammer for Black. Merlin taking that star off. Probably not his first decision. Here comes York into the back. Juking to the inside and fighting that wall of White. Picking up 5 more points for the Black team. Star pass has been completed. Nader getting tangled up with the White jammer. Black 8-8 getting called for the low block, as is probably normal and necessary. So Black's going to start 1 Nate down in the blocker area. I don't know how many points Black got. I'm going to call it 9. Boop, ba doop, boop, 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 boop. That's 218 for Black, 144 for White. Derby Monster getting some heavy jammer minutes here for White. Black, you've got the Samurai Jack. Enigma has seen that portion of the Derby Monster program and does not give up that outside line, giving his jammer enough time. Oh, there's some high-quality offense from your favorite and mine, Pop Roxy. Getting Derby Monster out of there just in time. That's a spill. Looks like, I know those wheels. Yeah, that's Ed. That's Enigma hitting the floor. And there's Samurai Jack not being able to make it by the rest of the pack. Picking up three. Can you see? Can you see what the numbers are? No, there's 3. But it's 3. It is 3 for Black. That'll be 221 for Black, 144 for White. This jam brought to you by Ice Cold Green Beans out of a can. Sybil jamming for the White team and Super Hut jamming for Black. Got a big old wad of blockers in the middle there. That's a prime time for a jammer to take advantage of those inside-outside lines because nobody can really move around all that well. Sybil getting what looked like most of his shoulder, putting a stop to her advancement through the pack. However, as I say that, commentators cursing myself, Sybil's picking up White lead jammer status. There's Super Hut. She's behind Merlin and Roxy. And that's gotta suck. I don't know if that was called off, if that was the natural conclusion. But we got no points for nobody. That was a fun jam. A lot of hooting and hollering and carrying her along and carrying on. Here comes Derby Monster again with that star for the White team. And Noam Stomsky for Black. No, I'm getting bounced to the inside. There's a penalty being called. That's black 2-6. That's Samurai Jack. That's a failure to reform. He sits for 30 seconds. And there goes Derby Monster number 00. And oh no, Pop Roxy nearly heading off Noam Stomsky on the very apex there. No penalties are called because we're all friends here. There's Pop Roxy displaying some primo technique and form until getting yorked into the ground. We all get yorked into the ground multiple times during bouts. It's just what happens. It's like tornadoes or earthquakes. There's very little that anyone can really do about it. Some jammer on jammer action. I don't know who has lead because, again, I am not paying that much attention. There's a penalty whistle that I've heard get called. I'm not sure on who or for what. That'll be a penalty on Pop Roxy. Not sure what for, but doesn't matter. It's 30 seconds. It's in a box. She'll take a breather. 1 point for each team after all of that action. Holy smokes, folks. I didn't mean to rhyme. I'm not a good rhymist. Black, 222. White, 145. Some semi-pleasantries being exchanged between Pop Roxy and folks who are leaving the track. White starts at a 1 blocker deficit. Doesn't matter. They got lead anyway. There goes number 45. Still a mystery to me, jammer. Very nearly making it out was Marmar Superstar, but getting shoved to the inside by Merlin's hips. And then recycled into a triangle of white. That's a big 5 points for White Jammer. Looks like Wicked Stom has checked out of the bout along with Stacy Wilderness. They've had enough of all this nonsense. They're going to crack into what appears to be a delicious Lake Monster Empty Rowboat IPA. Holy smokes, I wish you could have seen that, but our cameras aren't all that great. But Shane McPowan sneaking on the outside, taking advantage of some confusion in the middle of the pack. Calling it off with 9 points to their name is the White team. That'll be 154 for White, 222 for Black. The after party has moved. This is a crucial news update, breaking news update. The after party has moved into your own living room. Please send us photos of how you are celebrating this wonderful Thanksgiving's Eve of roller derby and friendship and getting alongness. Derby Monster is going to get right along to the front of the pack, picking up lead jammer status. Samurai Jack doing a Samurai shuffle along to the outside, getting not lead jammer status, which I suppose is as good as you can possibly get when somebody else has lead. How many points did whoever get? 2. 2 points for Derby Monster. That'll be 156 for White, 222 for Black. That's a rolling whistle. What does that mean? That means we're out of Derby for this evening, folks. Thank you, officials, Bellows, Enigma, at everybody. And we're going to be signing off here, unless there's something else that I don't really know about that's going to happen, which I really don't think or anticipate. Many high fives are being exchanged by all of the turkey-weary skaters. Everyone had a great time. They're ready to replenish with their Thanksgiving meal of choice tomorrow. Hugs all around, big smiles. And thank you, everyone, so much for joining us here on Wednesday nights. I'm sure everybody had better things to do, like maybe take some time off of that travel tomorrow. Get a head start. Weather's nice. Drive safe. And we'll see you later. Where's the stop streaming button?